Welcome to electrical safety training for the unqualified worker. Today's training provides an understanding of electrical hazards and how the NFPA 70E standards apply to you as an unqualified electrical employee. What makes a qualified electrical worker? They are somebody that's been trained and has the skills necessary to distinguish energized parts from non-energized parts. They can determine nominal voltage to energized parts and clearance distances corresponding with voltages. Qualified training must be specific to the work assigned to the worker. And remember that this training does not make you qualified. Follow the hierarchy of controls: elimination, substitution, and engineering controls. You must talk with your supervisor after this training. You will need to explain these terms. Who is qualified? Who is unqualified? What is electrical shock and where does it come from? What is arc flash and what causes it? What is arc blast? Then explain safe work boundaries while working around electrical equipment. Electrical hazard definitions include electrical shock, passage of electrical current through the body, arc flash, passage of substantial amount of electrical current through air, and arc blast, explosion caused by rapid air expansion. Results of arc flash and arc blast include bright light, intense heat as high as 35,000 degrees, loud noise that may exceed 160 decibels. Pressure waves, ejected metal parts such as molten copper. Injuries from arc flash and arc blast include eye damage, ruptured eardrums. Chest injuries including collapsed lungs, second and third degree burns, and wounds from flying debris such as molten metal, other injuries due to falls of being thrown. Electrical shock occurs when electrical current passes through the body. So we must understand that it only takes very little current to cause serious damage and possible death. As you can see, only a few milliamps can cause extreme pain, injury, and even death. As little as 50 to 150 milliamps causes extreme pain, breathing stops, severe muscle contraction, and death is possible. 1 to 4.3 amps may cause irregular heartbeat, nerve damage, and death is likely. 10 amps can stop your heart, severe burns, and death is probable. So understand, it doesn't take much to cause serious damage or even death. Let's look at another example about how electrical current in very small amounts, milliamps, really affects the body. As you can see, as little as 100 milliamps can stop the heart from beating. 300 can stop breathing. Much of this depend on the flow of the current through the body. When you come in contact with electrical current, it enters your body and passes through. As it passes through your body, damage to critical organs may occur, such as your heart. As it leaves the body, it always goes to ground. Electrical current systems are grounded. So the current will go to ground or simply go home. Many rules and regulations apply to electrical safety, including 2 OSHA regulations. One for general industry, and the other one for construction. Both of these rules make reference to the NFPA 70E standards for electrical safety in the workplace. Both of these standards incorporate 70E by reference. The 70E standards determine what safety has to be addressed. Work practices, maintenance, special equipment. Installations. Who enforces this standard? OSHA incorporates NFPA 70E as a consensus standard and becomes law. Now let's take a look at the safety-related work practices. There are 3 sections that we'll be talking about today: general requirements, safe work conditions, and working on or near live parts. So does this include you as an unqualified person? Yes. If you work on or near energized electrical conductors, then who's responsible to make sure you're safe? Your employers is. Employers must provide safety-related work practices and train you to work safely. Employees are required to follow this training and implement the rules and procedures given by the employer. Article 110, Electrical Safe Work Practices, explains who is qualified. That is someone trained in construction and operation of equipment, trained to recognize and avoid electrical hazard. Who then is unqualified? Anyone not trained to be qualified is an unqualified person, but they still must be aware of the electrical safety-related practices. Understand your role, qualified or unqualified. If you are unqualified, can you work near electrical parts? Yes. If you establish an electrically safe work condition, that is, an electrical system is de-energized and properly locked out. Otherwise, you must respect the limited and flash protection boundaries that we'll talk about later. So what is an electrically safe work condition? You must know the sources of the electrical energy, and disconnect following a procedure.
They have to be disconnected.
They have to be visually verified that they're disconnected, locked out, tagged out, tested to make sure there is no current, and grounded if necessary. This procedure is the same procedure employees are required to use under OSHA's rule for lockout-tagout. You may be required to assist as an unqualified person in establishing a safe work condition by applying the electrical safe work, lockout procedures under OSHA 1910-147. Article 130, Working on or near live parts or boundaries. The first boundary to understand is the limited approach boundary. A limited approach boundary is where there is an exposure to a shock hazard and where danger exists. A restricted approach boundary, highest risk boundary, where the most likelihood of electrical shock is present. Then, outside, we have an arc flash boundary of those two. The electric arc flash boundary is a boundary in a distance from an exposed energized electrical conductor that has an incident energy enough to burn you, such as a second-degree burn. That's similar to a very bad sunburn. So let's explain that a little bit more. How close is too close when it comes to electrical live parts? If you are an unqualified person, it is recommended to stay out of all boundaries. You are always prohibited to go into limited approach boundaries, and you must never cross a restricted approach boundary by yourself. Electrical cabinets will have warning or danger of signs. In this case, it shows us FAT 18 inches is the arc flash boundary. 42 inches is the limited approach boundary. And 12 inches is the restricted approach boundary, the most dangerous. So you need to understand this information when you see it and know how it affects you. If you don't understand it, ask your supervisor. And then finally, a bit on PPE for arc flash protection. Reveal different levels, but understand they are only for trained and qualified personnel. If you need to wear it, You must be qualified. Okay. Now it's time to have that talk with your supervisor and demonstrate competency. You'll need to explain these terms. What determines qualified? Who is unqualified? Explain electrical shock. What is arc flash? What is arc blast? And give an explanation of the three barriers that we discussed. So that's it for today. This completes your training for as an unqualified electrical